And it switched me again. What the freak? There we go. Yo, what's good, people? What up, what up? Before we get into this thing, I just want to first start off by saying I have not seen this video just yet, and I'm not one of those people that like to completely discredit something and I haven't at least heard what Kevin has to say, what O'Shea has to say, or whatever. So regardless of what the thumbnail says, guys, I'm one of those people that I'm going to listen to what they have to say, and then we can take it from there. We got some comments and stuff below. Shout out to Miss Tina, man, for letting me use her space while I'm in the Charlotte area, man. Cause yeah, we're not in the studio today, guys. We're not in the studio, man. We had a busy morning, so again, man, appreciate you. Anyway, so let me go ahead and look at this real quick. Miss Barbara says, "Oh Lord, don't get this man started about his hair." I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think that I'm one of those guys that is against the idea. All right, that's all I'm gonna say for now. I'm not one of those people that my hair is who I am. That's never been the case. All right, so I'm not one of those guys, man. Um, let's go. We the People News said, "Would you ever cut your hair, Katie?" Would I ever cut my hair? Honestly, I was thinking about it. For those of you that don't know, I'm actually shooting a movie, Hustle and Motivate. Well, kind of pause it for a second. We're gonna get started right after this documentary and this little life video that we're doing. But yeah, I was thinking like toward the end of the movie, like what I'm saying, just kind of cutting it all off as like a little dramatic. But we'll see, man. I don't know. I'm just gonna say this. I'm not completely against it. I'm not completely against it. Again, my hair is not who I am. It don't make me who I am. All right. So Lake said, "You think he talking about the guys that's trying to wear their hair like Jay-Z?" Absolutely. Absolutely, man. Those people that don't necessarily like groom themselves on a regular, like they always talk about, what's the name of it? Those locks that a lot of guys are trying to do. Uh, was it Rastas? I want to say it started as something like Rastas. Most guys are trying to grow like those Rasta dreads, or my bad, Rasta locks. But yeah, I think that this is probably more geared towards those guys. But hey, it is what it is. All right, last comment, man, before we get into this thing. She said, Shalik said, "You keep your hair neat, Katie. I don't think he talking about you." Could be. I don't know. Again, I have not seen this video at all, guys. So I don't know, man. You could be right, or you could be wrong. I don't know. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump into this thing, man. Let me make sure the volume is up. There we go.
They don't even holler at me.
No, they don't. Right.
Dang, it sounds low. Is that low to y'all?
Class is in
Oh,
session.
there we go.
That's right. Class is in session.
Y'all, I love
It
it.
is time to it's time to get real.
I love it. This is
Time to get real.
right here.
It's time to get real.
I love that about the footage. That little. Hold on, one more.
All right. 45 people on the stream.
My bad.
This stream is for black men.
Wow.
This stream is for black men.
There it is.
Everybody's welcome. Everybody is welcome. This is for black men. In particular, millennials and zennials.
I don't even know what sin is. I don't know what that means.
In particular, millennials and zennials. Okay? Last night, Brother O'Shea Duke Jackson did a show with Steve the Dean Williams that said black men need to cut their hair if they want to work for white people. And what I saw in this stream was Steve the Dean Williams giving some very pointed advice to Black men if they wanted to move up the corporate ladder. And he repeatedly said,
hold on, y'all. We got an echo. All right, we got an echo. Let me try this real quick. I got you. Give me 1 second. We got an echo going on here, and I think I know what it is. Y'all give me 1 second, and we're gonna go ahead and remove this real quick. Because I want to say I fixed this issue before, so let's see if we can fix this thing again. All right, I think we got it. Let's see. All right, let me try it now. Y'all let me know, man. Let me know.
If you want to stay at the entry level, cool. You want to own your own business, cool. But if you want to move up, you need to focus on yourself. Go to somebody who's ahead of you, in particular, if there's a brother ahead of you, and ask him, look at my work and my appearance and tell me what you think. You know, one thing that I saw in the phone calls and in the chat room, I was really disheartened by the men that called in on this show who wanted to keep arguing with Steve. I'm disheartened in the comment section that I read, and we're going to get into it because unlike where people could point the finger at Steve the Dean Williams and say, well, you talk about when you were a mail clerk. I was in corporate America for 20 years. A chemical engineer with mobile oil for a year and a half when I quit because I hated the industry. Houston East Asset Team, corrosion engineer. Fell backwards into a career with MCI, which was AT&T's largest competitor at the time, and started out telemarketing, inside sales in a call center of 600 plus people.
There we go.
Where 60% of the staff was Black, selling long distance from New York to California to businesses, making twice as much money as I was as an engineer.
Wow. Damn. Good grief.
The call center closed down. MCI closed that call center down, and they took the top 5%, which I was in the top 1%, and gave us promotion opportunities. I was relocated to Austin for a call center to help bring them up to speed with selling the same product that we were selling in Houston because they consolidated call centers. But I caught the eye of a management for my ability to sell, lead, and direct. And they offered me a job in outside sales. I didn't go looking for the job. They offered it to me.
Y'all just give me a second, man. I'm doing some stuff on the back end, make sure everything is good. But the audio should be good. I checked it. No echo.
Before I get down the story, I turned it down because because one of the guys I moved over there with, he had made a poor impression on all the upper managers there, and they didn't like him. But I liked Daryl so much, I said, you know what? He's married, he's got a family. Give it to him. I'll go to Dallas and take the outside sales job in Dallas. I was set to go to Dallas from Austin to pursue an outside sales, entry-level outside sales job. Now understand, I went from inside sales, making twice as much as I was an engineer, making about $90,000 a year on the phone. That opportunity closed down. They changed the entire commission structure to go to outside sales, entry level. What I noticed was when I went outside, almost 100% of the outside sales staff was white. Wow. Why do you have so many Black people on the phone? Black, Hispanic, Asian, other. But when you go outside, the sales staff's are white with a sprinkling of a Black person. Wherever I worked, it was usually me and maybe one other person at best. And it was usually a woman. Anyway, I was going to take the outside sales job at MCI in Dallas. Turns out that Daryl, the guy, my buddy that I gave the job up from, he went to a career fair in Dallas and landed a job as a manager. He got promoted as a manager, and part of what he did to get promoted was that I can actually bring you an entire sales team. I was the first rep he hired. And from that point on in my career, I went as an outside salesperson for this one company. I've told the story where I almost got fired at this company until I actually made a lot of the changes that a lot of black men on last night's show would refuse to make. I humbled myself, I swallowed my pride, and I learned what it took to win. And guess what? That company I was working for,
all right, we should be good,
wanted to move me up 3 levels. But the reason I didn't take the job was because they couldn't give me the starting pay. So I went to work for a competitor.
Wow.
The same thing. And I made.
Let me tell you something, man. Listening to Kev, man, when I tell you this guy, one, he had a sense of awareness. That's huge. To be aware of what the starting pay is for that particular job. And to also be able to not only switch it up and go somewhere else, but get, I'm guessing, whatever that starting pay was, man. That's huge, man. I know as a guy, all right, I'm just speaking from a guy. I'm one of those people that, you know what I'm saying, when I get a job, I like to maintain that thing, you know what I mean? Making sure that I'm on time, I'm dressed, you know what I'm saying, professional and everything, man. And I think that it is still so important to make sure that whatever that job is, that they are paying you whatever. So if they're wanting you to move you up or whatever, or they want you to do something different, being able to recognize that, listen, I need to be getting paid whatever that is. You want to move me up to a supervisor or whatever, then I need to be getting that starting pay that that comes along with. Don't just try to slap me with some title and think that everything is good.
3 times the amount of money, and from there I went from account executive at the account executive was where I was my first outside sales job. The next company I worked for, my title was a major account manager, which is senior level, which requires about 3 to 5 years experience in the field. Account executives, 0 to 3 years.
Did he have it?
Entry level. I went from major account manager, and inside of 12 months, I have been promoted to manager. So inside of 3 years, I've been promoted 4 times.
That's crazy, man.
I go to New York.
Every
take
quarter,
over
man.
the second worst team in the nation, make them the 7th best in the country.
Wow. This is huge, man.
From that position, I get offered my own city. I take the job.
I understand. They're not just giving anybody these titles just because, man. They seen, hey, this guy puts in the work. When he's there, change is made. And, hey, like they say, the proof is in the pudding. If you're doing all of these things, expect that. Expect for them to move you up if you are producing, all right? That's what it's all about, especially when it comes to, marketing and accounting and sales. If you putting up those doggone numbers, then we need to move you. We need to move you somewhere where you're gonna really be able to blossom or really show that thing, man. And it's gonna be a reflection in the company, in the growth, in their numbers and everything. They know. They'll pay you if you're working.
VP of San Francisco. Here's the problem, though. I was working on an account that needed my attention. So I was part-time in San Francisco, part-time in New York. The company said, we need you to decide. We can't have you running your own city, but we need you on this $17 million deal with Bloomberg. All right, I will take this job because I really didn't like managing and running the city, such and so forth. So I was promoted to national account manager, the highest sales level any salesperson can get in the sales industry is to be at a national account manager level.
What the freak, bro. This is insane, man. I don't think most of y'all like really realize what the freak he is saying, man. And if all of that stuff is true, like he was able to do all of that in that short amount, that's insane. But if you look at his life, man, it kind of translates to that. Like his growth when it came to YouTube and everything, man. I mean, it makes sense.
National account managers tend to manage one account: Coca-Cola, Delta, American Airlines, Pepsi, McDonald's. There's an entire team that works under the national account manager. He has an engineer, customer service. It basically has his own little company inside of an organization. And it is the national account manager's responsibility to make sure you don't lose that customer, because it represents a huge chunk of profit. These accounts are extremely competitive. You want to hurt a company's bottom line?
Hold on, man. Hold on. I don't know what's going on with the internet, but we right here, baby. Come on now. Come on. Hold on. Move this stuff real quick. Yeah, we gotta
still a national account. Man. National accounts tend to be under long-term contracts, ironclad agreements, because these things can tend to cause seismic shifts. I was the first person to land a national account for a regional bell operator for CLEC. So what I'm basically pointing is I know what the hell I'm talking about. When I was an entry-level manager, I hired 16 people, my staff of 7, and I helped hire 9 other people. When I was a national account manager, I had 12 direct reports. I've been a pre-IPO stockholder in companies to where they looked at my sales numbers on a daily basis because they got reported to Wall Street to help us get angel funding and investing. See, what I'm talking about is a lot of stuff that I never hear guys on YouTube talk about. None of the guys calling in last night had any idea this shit was going on. They're all entry-level dudes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to tell you something. I gave you my bona fides because I know what I'm talking about. And now I'm an image consultant and a corporate image consultant, meaning right now I work with companies who have a corporate brand, and that's what sits at the top of anything for a company. Black men, if you want to move up into upper management, you are going to have to cut your dreads.
There you go.
You're going to have to become clean.
Oh no, player, don't do that, man. Good grief. Don't do. No, I'm joking. Hey, again, I'm open to listen.
And represent the brand. See, a lot of black brothers think this is selling out.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that it's selling out.
It's called buying in.
And understand this, guys. You know, a lot of people love to say, well, look at such and such. They're doing this. Most of those guys had to buy in first. Most of those guys had to sport or uphold a certain type of image until they were actually able to do that. Like a lot of people use Jay-Z as the standard now. But if you look at Jay-Z when he first started off or whatever, he just now recently started to do that, whatever he's doing to his hair now. But while he was building and everything, for the longest, what type of hairstyle did Jay-Z sport? Honestly. For those of you that honestly follow, you know, hip-hop or actually follow Jay-Z, for the longest, I mean, when he first came out, you know what I'm saying, of course you do certain things that kind of like stand out. But again, for the longest, he basically sport a regular haircut. All right, a regular haircut. Again, you have to buy in first. And then once you build up, you know, that clientele, that audience or whatever, and then you can venture off depending on what you do and how you do things. But when it comes to, you know, that first appearance or whatever, a lot of people are more comfortable, a little bit more comfortable with a guy that just looks nice and neat. Short haircut, you know, well groomed, you know, hopefully you got good skin, clothes look presentable, the whole nine, man. You got like a friendly type of personality or whatever.
So prepare to get your panties in the bunch, because unlike people can ask Steve, I not only been in corporate America and done it, I currently still do it.
There we go.
I have companies who bring their actual. I'll give you an example. I worked with one of the largest
Be having it so
automotive
dark up in here.
companies in Oklahoma. They had 13 locations.
I ain't mad at it.
I secret shopped all of their locations. They wondered why their productivity and their profits were down. And I said, well, they brought in a corporate image consultant to see what was going on with their internal capital. And as I went around these locations, I said, the way your staff is dressed is not facilitating deals. I went to a Maserati dealership.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I walked into a Maserati dealership looking like a customer. Mm-hmm. I was greeted by an overweight, rotund receptionist, a sales rep who had just had an onion bagel.
Oh my God.
Dressed in a polo-like shirt and some slacks.
Wow.
And
that is beautiful, man. Peep game, dog. Oh my goodness. That's dope, man. You know, what is the problem with what's going on? Why in the world aren't we generating the sales that we could be generating? You bring a guy in there that, okay, well let me go in there just as a regular person or whatever, and let's see what's going on. So he was greeted by, basically he let you know what he was greeted by or whatever. And I can go ahead and tell you what the issue is right now. And you may have to shift and move some people around, which most people are not comfortable when it comes to change. But if you want to generate those sales, if you want to level up, upgrade, or whatever, then you need to bring that person in that's going to be honest with you. All right? This is what the problem is. This, that, and the third. Change these things and then watch the growth. Watch how everything kind of changes or whatever.
I'm like, you want me to buy a $100,000 vehicle from this? I talked with HR, sales, and marketing and said, you're doing all this advertising to bring in customers, but at the final point, when a potential customer has to interact with your sales staff looks too casual. And their casual attitude, the casual look makes people take them less seriously. So when it's time to negotiate a deal, and guess what? They know. I said, when did you start noticing a dip in sales? And guess what? Imagine this. They started noticing a dip in sales 3 months after they changed the dress code company-wide.
Wow.
That's what they bring people like me in for. How to make a dress code. How to make a uniform. Every one of the companies you work for, there is a dress code.
Absolutely.
They have to make a dress code that's going to make as many people at the bottom happy, but there is a code to move up. Let me give you some of the objectives.
There's a code in order to move up. I like that, man.
Hit the like button and throw something in the super chat, because here's the thing. You got a corporate image consultant right now, and you also have a guy who worked in corporate America who's been promoted 7 times.
Wow.
Who sold $45 million in products and services, who has always been in the top 10%, who has awards out of the wazoo, who was always at President's Club, Chairman's Circle, always doing something. I was well known and respected in my industry. So unfortunately, that industry fell apart. So when I'm looking at a bunch of young guys who've never been there, your opinion doesn't mean what I know. Let's talk about some of the things I heard in that stream.
I'm curious. Is he going to bring O'Shea up?
Your hair is about expression or being unique. That's fine. But that's not why you got the job. You didn't go get the job at that company. I guarantee you, when you went to work for that company, you didn't go and say, you know what? I want to be unique. You didn't go to that company and say, you know what? I want to be unique. Appreciate the cash app. You didn't go to that company and say, you know what? The reason I want your job is I want to express myself and be unique. That ain't what you said.
Hell no.
You said you wanted to come in here so you could be the best employee, compete, help the company achieve its goals.
Right. That's the reason why they hired you.
Next, it's about racial pride. Here's the biggest one. Man, you expect me to go in there and cut my hair and have to submit to these white men?
Again, man. I think that's the issue with a lot of freaking people, man. They think that they selling out, but he just let you guys know, man. No, you got to buy in. And you're going to have to do that again for maybe a certain amount of time, man. Unless you are, and even when you are doing your own thing, like people are going to buy you first. So even if you want to get out here, you want to be a photographer, videographer, a influencer or whatever, you're in sales. So you have to sell yourself first. And what do people see when they're first about to buy anything from you? They see you. Why the heck would I buy into somebody or would I buy something from somebody that, listen, I'm not trying to be funny, but if a guy is selling soap, but he looks dirty, come on, man. Like what we doing, man? If a guy walks up on you, he's selling something, and he got a dirty t-shirt, he got stains on his t-shirt or whatever, got some rundown shoes, holes or whatever is in his jeans or whatnot, man. Yo, that's automatic no. I don't want to buy any, if we're being honest, I don't want to buy nothing you are selling, sir. I appreciate it. You know, nothing against whatever you going through, whatever you got going on right now, but I'm good. I'm good on that. But you got another guy on the other hand that, again, is well groomed, got on a decent looking suit or whatever, man, looks nice. A lot more people, not saying everybody, but a lot more people are going to be at least open to hearing what he has to say. All right? And then, that's when soft skills kind of play into part, all of that, man. But the very first thing that people see is you. Before you even open your mouth, they see you. Would I buy anything from a guy that's looking like this? No. None of you out here looking crazy.
Some other things I heard. The world is different now.
No.
I work in tech. And in tech, it's common to look sloppy. It's common to have dreads and long hair and so on and so forth. Incomplete. That's at the entry level.
Yeah.
But at the upper levels, the corporate rules remain the same.
If you want to continue to level up, man.
It's not like it was. No, I'm still in it, brother. I'm in it and I'm further ahead than you are. Because realize this, you can tell me about your anecdotal situation. But if you can't match resumes, you can't match experience with me.
There it is.
You can't match arms with me.
Mm-mm.
I've worked in it, and now I still work with companies right now. Why do you think every time you guys see me in a live stream, I'm always in suits? It's branding. It matters.
Absolutely.
You think
absolutely
Tom Ford would want to do a deal with me
if you
have me represent their brand? And say, this video was sponsored by Tom Ford. This video was sponsored by Chanel. This video was sponsored by Dior. This video was sponsored by such and so forth. They look to see if...
Shout outs to the Godfather.
Appreciate it.
That's why it's so important, man. Every time you get on camera,
here's
that you're looking the part.
Here's a big one. Dude said, you know what?
We getting there.
All this stuff is subjective. All I need to do is a good job, and then I'll win. Let me tell you something.
If they match you against, let's just say that's true, all right? If you do a good job, let's just say, for instance, you got a guy that comes in here that looks the part. He fresh to death or whatever, and when it comes to y'all resume, it's almost exactly the same. If you're in the room with somebody that has as much skill as you have, or a little bit less, who do you think that they're going to choose when it comes to that? Dang, what is it called, man? We'll just say that promotion. When it comes to that promotion, who do you think they're going to choose when it comes to that promotion? Giving that promotion to the guy that looks good, that carries himself well, and everything. You got to come on, man. You got to use your head for more than a hat rack.
You honestly believe the guy who does the best work? If this is a meritocracy, you're fooling yourself. Look at your president. Is your president the smartest guy in the country?
Nope.
No, he was the guy who sold himself and played the game. Sold himself well and played the game. It's not a meritocracy. Your results, your sales numbers only get you consideration. I have seen people who did not want to play the game get passed over constantly. And guess what? When I moved up, I had colleagues who hated my guts.
Absolutely.
Oh, sell out
But
this,
that
oh, sell
mofo do
out
the
that. Oh,
work.
they're still in an entry-level position
Mm-hmm.
5 years later.
Got him.
Newsflash. You are supposed to be moving up in these companies.
Yep.
You're not supposed to get a job in the mailroom and stay there for 7 years.
Absolutely not, man.
Let me get to the next point.
Absolutely not.
Most black guys are stuck doing the same job title they came in with and the same responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Because we should not have to do, or it should not be this way.
You are a gem to this generation.
Appreciate it.
I'm gonna go through some of the comments too, man. My bad.
I shouldn't have to, I should not have to take all that stuff out of your vocabulary. Corporate America is dog eat dog. It is extremely competitive, and you're competing internally and with your competition. You better believe that AT&T would have, when Exxon and Mobil, before they merged, Exxon had Exxon Wednesdays. You had to come to work in a white shirt and a red tie. That was the corporate uniform. Mobil was a blue tie. You better believe that, like any good team, they're looking for a weakness.
Absolutely.
If you are going to compete, if AT&T and MCI were going to compete for the American Airlines account, they're going to look for a weakness. They're going to try to exploit anything. And if you come into the, if you're the pitch man, and you come in and you got him dreads, and the person sitting over across the table from you, the ultimate decision maker, is a 55-year-old white guy from Missouri, he doesn't understand you.
Nope. Nope.
There's something about you that he just don't like. He can't put his finger on it. You may have a great presentation, it may make great business sense, but the best proposal doesn't always win, because if that did, as a salesperson, all you have to...
As a salesperson, you are selling you first. So before you even talk about the product, in 7 seconds of anybody meeting you, is it 7 or 11? I want to say in 7 seconds, most people have made like 11 assumptions about you. So if you're going in a room to sell something to someone, and regardless, I mean, I know he's saying a white man or whatever, man, whoever that guy is, if he's an older guy, because most older men, they're a little bit more comfortable with the shortcut, man. They think that most guys supposed to rock that shortcut. And he's not looking to get an understanding. No, he's judging. I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna go ahead and judge. Yeah. I don't want to hear nothing this guy has to say, man. Appreciate it. Great presentation. But we're going to go ahead and go with the other guy. You know what I mean? Because he came in here. He looked nice. You know, he had on a nice suit or whatever. Great personality. We'll go with this guy right here, man. Presentations are, you know, pretty close. Yeah, the other guy probably could have been better, but, you know, I don't like him. All right? We're gonna buy from this guy.
Do is come in and say, guess what?
Can't get mad,
I can
bro.
save you 40% by giving you the same thing you got right now, just changing billing. If sales are so simple, if it's all just binary, but it's mostly about people buy from people they like, and we like ourselves. And here's the reality. You don't get to go to a white man's company. Understand something. If you built a company yourself up from what you have right now to 1 employee, to 3 employees, to 10 employees, to 50, to 100, to 1,000, you are not going to let somebody come in and jeopardize that. You're not going to put somebody in that's not going to help you win. Why would you put somebody in a deal who wants to express themselves and have racial pride more than they want to get the deal closed? Growing my hair makes me feel more confident or feel black.
What?
You, my friend, if this is what you feel,
that's an issue.
Therapy.
Absolutely. Growing your hair should not have nothing to do with your personality, bro. I don't think. I mean, that's just me personally. It makes you feel better as a man. As a man, growing your hair out makes you feel better. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you. The reason why I started to grow my hair is because my brother lived in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and at the time I lived in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I didn't necessarily have the transportation and the money to go back and forth and get my hair cut. So I was like, listen, there is a young lady that's up here. She can either do braids or she can do locks. I'm tender headed, so I was like, we're just gonna go ahead and go with the locks. And that was one of the reasons why I started to grow my hair at first. But and then I can just get a fresh cut like once a month, and I was good. I mean, now I definitely have the transportation and the resources now, but you know, I do like my locks, but I'm not against
That is crazy.
not
makes me
cutting.
feel more black. So, what about the black men who don't have their hair up there? They're less black than you. We have too much of this
Come
ego,
on, man.
self-importance, entitlement, and foolish pride keeps you stuck.
And broke.
A couple more.
And broke. Add that, man.
Nowadays, things have changed. That 55-year-old guy over there, nowadays people are more open. And it's about what you can do. No. That's what people have to say.
Yeah.
I get to hear what
Yeah.
the executives really
think. Yeah.
See, if you don't know, when I became a manager,
Because they can
for the
say
first
one
time,
thing and then
I
do
really
another.
realized HR wasn't what I thought it was. I thought HR was neutral. I thought HR was really there for the employee. No, the HR is there to protect the company's interest and bottom line.
Uh-oh. You better start spilling some
Moderators, if somebody comes in talking, insulting me, time them out. Don't come in here. If you come in there cursing, I'm going to block you off my channel. You don't have to like what I'm saying, but I tell you what.
respect.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Respect.
Prove it. Let's see if you can match arms with an actual corporate image consultant who's actively still in this business and somebody who has 20 years experience of moving up in corporate America. It's easy to throw pot shots at Steve. It's easy to throw pot shots at O'Shea. You can't do that shit with me. I've ranked higher than a lot of you guys ever will. And here's the thing. The foolishness is when you're given information. If you first thing you want to do is get upset or argue, you lack the emotional toughness and the mental maturity to be anything other than what you are. That's a big part of the reason why you can't go up. Because a lot of guys don't have the mental fortitude.
Facts.
Because understand something.
Facts.
When you're growing your dreads and all this other kind of stuff, you better realize that that's looked at as being, your personal expression is looked at as rebellious.
Yep.
It's counterproductive to the company if it doesn't line up with the company's mission focus, goals, and overall brand. How does dreads line up with the company focus, mission statement, and overall corporate brand?
And again, this is not across, well, it is technically across the board, but they're going to be a little bit more lenient based on your job title. All right. So again, if you're doing something, I'm not downplaying anybody that works at a restaurant, like McDonald's or whatever, they'll be a little bit more lenient when it comes to those things versus the type of job titles that he's talking about. Moving up in the ladder, again, overlooking national accounts and all of that other stuff, they're going to focus a little bit more on not just the work ethic, but the person in general. Like, what does this person have going on? What do they look like? What does their image say about them? All right, and what is that going to say about our company? You got to take your feelings out of it, man.
Music, different, but guess what? The music exec. Tell me, how does any of the stuff you're talking about line up with the corporate focus, the
Your
mission
image.
statement, and overall corporate brand? And here's the problem. Most guys don't even know this stuff. Upper management is very homogeneous. It's not diverse, and that's on purpose.
They don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear that, Kevin.
They represent the corporate brand. They don't represent themselves.
Mm-hmm.
You don't go to work for somebody else to represent yourself. Let me see something. White people, yeah, dude, that's dumb. See, when you got to reach back to lynching and we got lynched in suits, what you're doing is you're deflecting. What you're doing is you're in your feelings. You don't like it. You don't like the fact that you're in your ego. And I want you to understand what we're talking about. We're obviously talking about your hair. Sadly, so many black men will lose lose thousands of dollars in opportunity over stupid stuff, insignificant stuff. If you want to go into the military, you got to cut your hair. The first job I ever had in my life was a dishwasher at Shotgun Sam's Pizza. Well, guess what? I had to cut my hair. Now, I didn't have to do it. I just couldn't have done the job. If I'd have said, man, I ain't gonna cut my hair, they'd have said, cool. Next.
I see here.
You don't have to do any of the things I'm talking about.
And see, here's the thing, man. Most of those people complaining, bro, you ain't even doing the doggone work anyway. Most of those people, some of them don't even have hair. And some of them don't even take care of the hair that they do have. All right? And y'all sitting up here complaining because you're lazy. You don't want to do the work. You don't want to groom yourself. You don't want to do this thing. You just want to complain about every single thing, and that's the reason why a lot of men are stuck right now. They don't want to do the work. They want to complain. They want to complain why things aren't the way that they want them to be.
You won't move up. You won't move up.
And if you're comfortable,
you'll stay where you are.
Be quiet.
You'll look up and you'll be 40 years old doing the same entry-level job you're doing, because understand something. I need all you guys, especially the guys who disagree with what I'm saying. And I don't want to hear anything from you solopreneurs or entrepreneurs who own your own stuff. I don't care what you have to think in this situation, because you're not the focus. I'm talking about men guys who are working for companies and corporations.
Majority. That's the majority of men.
I'm talking for guys who are doing that and they want to move up.
Most guys don't have their own
average
business.
Employee
actually making a living off of it.
They don't go in. They don't have the average person doesn't have a career path. There's no career path. There's no career plan. They've never sat down with an image consultant or corporate consultant and mapped out a plan. Just like a lot of you guys, just like myself, I was born as a result of casual sex. My parents weren't married. They didn't sit down and make a plan to have a kid. That's how you handle and think about it. That's how most people handle their income. Do you understand your company's organizational chart? Who's the CEO? Who's the CFO, CIO? What does it look like? Okay. And then what division are you in? What is the upward path at your job title? Because everybody comes into a company at some level at a job title. Well, guess what? There is an org chart that says it goes this way. Where are you at? And how long do people typically stay in your job title? Case in point, when you come in as an entry-level salesperson or an account executive, you are meant to be there 0 to 3 years. If you are still doing entry-level account executive work 7 years, in 7 years at a 7-year mark, you are a loser. You have not been promoted. And guess what? In order to be promoted, you may often have to, when there's an opening that comes up, think about it. You are an account executive or a major account manager, major or senior account manager. There's one management job that comes available. You got 8, 9 people competing for the job. Plus, you may have 3 or 4 people internally,
right?
And tons outside, of external people competing. Who are they going to put there? And let me tell you something. Oftentimes, companies don't want to put their best salespeople in management. Why? Why would you want to take the golden goose and put them up there? See, I'm giving you guys far more shit than you ever seen. See, it is that it is about profit. It is
That's
about
what it's all
profit and the
about.
bottom line. How long should it take to move between your positions? What are you willing to do, and what sacrifices are you willing to make? Are you willing to move cities in order to move up? Are you willing to switch companies in order to move up? Sadly, these are the kind of guys I'm talking about. If you're not willing to, if you want it easy, comfortable, you just think that a management job should open up. Come on in, Bob. Come on in, Dave. Come on in, Antoine. You know, you've done good work for us for 7 years. We're just gonna give Antoine this position. He not the fact that he's earned it. Because honestly, screw your feelings. You need to stop crying, thinking everything should be fair. There is several levels where you don't see.
That's
Steve
not how
mentioned
it's
something
supposed to
about the
operate.
company
Anyway.
Christmas party.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
The company Christmas party is for everybody.
Yeah.
But when you get invited to the general manager's house,
There it is.
for that party,
That's
for that
it.
Christmas
That
party,
says a lot about
where
you.
only certain managers, certain key employees are invited.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Most people don't even know about that. It's invitation only. Hush, hush. Hey, Glenn wants you to come out to the house for Christmas. All right, guess what? When you get invited to the golf scramble with the regional manager, okay. When you get invited out to go hunting with the VPs, when you get invited to go deep sea fishing or a corporate lock-in, how many of these words, how many of the things I just talked about,
Most people ain't never heard about
that exist in your world? These are things that you've done. It's on your path.
Most people honestly haven't heard about this, man, and it's unfortunate. Like, you're not looking.
I switched companies and got a
You're
$7
not working
raise.
a job to move up. That's an issue. That is honestly an issue.
Understand something. The jobs I'm talking about aren't hourly. They're salary. They have benefits packages, things like that. So
you can start off hourly and move up to salary, but the goal should always be to move up, man, not to stay where you're at.
What are you talking about? Women do this by wearing weaves, such and such. So here's the question.
What?
Stuff is going over their heads, and that's the problem. If you're 25 years old, I actually, let me back. If you're 28 years old and the stuff I'm saying that's gone over your head, let me tell you, you are woefully unprepared to be out here competing.
Woefully.
This is why I'm gonna play a clip I put on Instagram the other day. Shout out to Dame Dash.
Oh.
Shout out to Dame Dash.
Let me tell you something, man. He be saying a lot of stuff that have people in their feelings. Grown men.
We are out here thinking that it's this individual alone. We're still thinking we're in high school. We're still thinking
you're moving like you're in high school, man.
It's easy.
Y'all hear that?
So many people are still thinking it's high school. It ain't high school. This is real game. This is real world. I'm gonna open it up with some questions because I know there's some guys who may just not know. But I need you to listen to what Dame Dash had to say about this topic.
So he's gonna share.
A lot of you guys don't know because you don't know. What are you gonna do about it?
People around you that need therapy to deal with. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm having a lot of people, because I'm a chair and I have a lot of people I have to, I have a lot of things in my brain that I need people to do. And I do everything different. So I always think it's important to have some kind of a consultant. So in a business, if your business isn't doing well, get a consultant to help you in your business. You have to approach your body and your brain like a business. If it isn't doing well, you have to have someone outside objectively tell you how to get it ready to go. Or at least teach you how to express yourself. See, the reason why I'm unhappy.
Right now,
dang.
How many of you guys have any kind of career consultant? Job consultant. I mean, what are you? Do you have a job or a career? You can have all the jobs you want, but if you want a career, you want security, stability, money, stock, retirement, all that good stuff, that still exists out there, and people are getting it every day. But if you just want to get out there and work from paycheck to paycheck, paycheck to paycheck, paycheck to paycheck, guess what? You're making yourself extremely vulnerable, because you're going to, there are several reasons. All right.
He's my man.
So, I have a career business for, that doesn't matter. I'm not talking to the people who work for themselves.
Yeah.
Thing is, and all you folks that work for yourselves, cool. But there's a cap on that too.
And most people be capping about that, man.
There's a cap on being an individual.
Most people not making enough money to support themselves in their own business.
Guess what?
You got an LLC.
Why not own a trucking? Why not own a fleet and have a logistics firm? That means you have to learn stuff you do not know. See, what I just showed with Dame Dash, talked about a consultant, is something that black men resist. Asking for help and damn sure paying for help. Paying for help and paying for expertise. Understand something. Right now, you have a corporate image consultant who actually knows what he's talking about and is actually been in it and done it for 20 years, and you still have guys sit back and say,
that ain't did none of that. That ain't did none of that, man.
I want you to understand, for the guys who are,
it's a cap for those guys,
wondering how to move ahead, how far away that person is for being in a position to be helped. And the thing is, most people aren't meant for this. This is not an image consultant. Corporate consultants aren't for the average person.
Nope.
80% of people really are just working.
Mm-hmm.
But do you want to move up? How many guys want to honestly move up? No one. So I'm going to start answering some questions in the comment section. If you have some questions for me about the topic, if you have questions for me about the topic, here it is.
I'm loving this live stream already.
Because this is the one time I'm going to open it up, because I know when I was a young black corporate exec, when I was a young black account executive, I said this the other day. Let me tell you guys a story. When you're in sales, you have to have somebody to sell to. You have a sales territory, but it is your job to go out there and sell
whatever that is,
this product or this service to that territory.
But
you as a salesperson have to decide
they're going to buy you first.
How you're going to spend your time. Now, just driving around looking at buildings and all this other kind of stuff, eventually you're going to have to get out of your car and go knock on a door or make some phone calls to get people's names. It's called cold calling. 50 cold calls a day. I, as an entry-level salesperson, especially as a black man, I was taught.
Appreciate the likes, man. Thank you guys so much, man. We got 25 likes on this video right now.
Not to ask anybody for help. Rely on yourself. So I had downtown Dallas. I went to the tallest buildings, and you're in the waiting room. Look, man, if I'm Fitzgerald, you can come back. The waiting room is going to be over there. Guys, don't get impatient. I went to the tallest building in the summertime, and I went in and I looked at the directory. The directory just told you the company names. It didn't tell you the offices. So I said, I need to go in and find the telecommunications manager or the MIS director or bottom line, the office manager, somebody. So I went in, I went into the first floor, and I walked in unannounced. Excuse me, can you tell me who makes the decision for your local and long distance service? Would that be your telecommunications manager? With management information system? Would that be office manager? There's a big sign that says no soliciting. They can arrest you. You can be in the waiting room, gentlemen.
So he's actually about to bring some guys up.
All right.
This is interesting. I can't wait to see how this is going to go.
I'm going to put you on mute.
So I'm curious, is O'Shea going to be on here?
So
I don't know if you guys are familiar with O'Shea.
And I cold called the 70-some-odd story building. I'm going to mute you.
Oh, hold on, y'all. Damn it. Oh, this might be Kevin's stream. I'm guessing. Maybe he muted himself. Let me see.
Want to make the switch to Shopify? Here's the
That gotta be Kevin. Because we good over here. Yeah, they gotta be Kevin, man. So again, while he's talking, wait, he about to unmute himself now. Yeah, he looking at all the streams. I think he messed around. Yeah, so he messed around and muted himself. Again, man, I'm not completely against the cutting of the
I'm
hair,
sorry.
man.
All right, there we go. So basically, I was saying is where I stopped is it took me 3 days to cold call that 70-story building. It took me 2 days to cold call another building that was 50 stories. So it took me an entire week to knock out just 2 buildings. And all I got was a stack of cards. I still had to take those cards and make phone calls to set up
Close the deal.
to pitch. Hi, my name is Kevin Samuels. I was by your office the other day. Is Roja in? He's not? Okay, could you tell him I called? You got to make phone calls. And then if you did get him on the line, hey, Roja, Kevin Samuels, a quick question. Are you the person who makes you still got to pitch. You still got to do all that. And there are hundreds of buildings out there. Well, guess what? The day is moving. Your sales quota is ticking. You only got 30 days to sell.
This type of stuff to me is
After 2
fascinating.
weeks
I
of
love
work,
it.
I'd only knocked out 4 buildings. I'm behind, and I look at my white colleagues, Cole and Preston, and they're over there just smiling, relaxed, chilling, turning in sales numbers. And I know I'm a better salesperson than them. We role play, we pitch. You guys have to be patient in the freaking chat room. We got role play. We pitch. I know I'm better, but they're getting more at bats. And I said, and you know what I did? I did something that I would have never. I told them, don't trust white people. Don't ask white people. I said, how y'all getting all these leads? How are you doing this? He's like, well, what do you mean? I didn't even know how to phrase the question. That's what I'm trying to understand. I did not know, so I didn't even know how to ask for what I needed. I was like, I'm having to go out here and do all this stuff. They said, you did what? You spent an entire week knocking on doors in 2 buildings? Why didn't you just go to the Kohl's directory or go to Hoover's database? And I said, what?
Wow.
Why didn't you just use the Kohl's directory? Foreign language to me.
Oh,
I knew how to knock on doors. I knew how to do like John Henry. I knew how to do it the hard way, struggle. I knew that. But I didn't know what a Kohl's directory. He's like, yeah, it's sitting right there. The Kohl's directory is sitting right in the bookcase in the office. He's like, yeah, just go in here. And he said, let me show you. And I saw the building I just spent 3 days cold calling. And it showed everybody's name. I mean, every company was there and all the employees and their titles. Sitting right there. 3 days worth of work, knocked down to 30 minutes. See, they knew that kind of stuff because they had uncles and brothers and fathers and friends who worked in the same industry. They exchanged information.
I'm about to say they
hit
talk to each
the
other. That's a
rooms.
big thing too.
Black men, we always come in lone wolf, independent, looking over your shoulder. Can't trust nobody. This hustle, struggle. That's why we stay fucking behind. And I said, you know what? And I said, what's this Hoover's thing? And we went to the library, and I actually went to the library, and I went onto Hoover's, because at the time we didn't have computers. Went to the library and went to Hoover's, and it gave me even more detailed information. It gave me the exact person's name, number, even the email address, sometimes a phone number. So instead of having to get out there and sweat and make all these calls, I could just have a call list printed out for me with the accurate person. Because oftentimes you go to these companies, you ask for the person to make the decision, and they'll give you to the screener. They'll give you to the person who can tell you no, but not the person who can tell you yes. Guess what happened? My productivity went from being 100% the plan to 250% of plan because I went on more sales calls because I wasn't wasting a bunch of time cold calling. That 10-minute story I just gave you typifies how so many black men, we're raised to think you got to struggle. It has to be hard, not to ask nobody. I would have never moved up because my numbers would have been here. Understand, they were working the same time, the same days, the same hours. I was working harder than them, coming in earlier, staying later. But they were having better results because they knew how to play the game.
And it's okay to ask.
They knew how to move the pieces. I got stories like that otherwise. So anyway, let's open it up.
I'm going to let him do one call, then we're going to end it right
I'm
here,
tripping.
guys.
Tell
I
me
want to
how
get into
deep-
another video.
Don't tell me I'm tripping. Get your butt on the pen. Get your butt on the line and tell me how you can give somebody better advice and outcome. Prove me wrong.
Dang, that thing hot too.
See, what you have is a lot of black men who are afraid to compete.
Fact.
You have a lot of black men who lack emotional toughness. Worried about what people gonna call you. You cut your hair, you sold out. I don't worry about what somebody beneath me thinks. Let's just get real. I don't care about what if you're in the warehouse and you gotta cut your hair and look the part to move up. And you worried about what Derek and James and Tyrone say about you. Look at him. He playing the game. You're dumb if you're worried about them. What they eat,
I'm gonna get y'all listening.
What they eat what you eat don't make them shit. See, this is one thing when Steve was talking. There's so many of y'all worry about the wrong things.
Trying to wait till you get somebody.
Why are you gonna worry about what somebody beneath you has to say? Look at that dude. He's selling out. Keeping it. Dave Chappelle did the skit when keeping it real goes wrong.
I remember that.
So many black men are worried about keeping it real. Keeping it real. And being real stuck. Because ain't nobody gonna stop you from being the straw in which they make bricks. Because understand something. You staying at the entry levels at the bottom just makes other people rich. Non-black men love the fact that black men are so foolish and prideful because you're less to compete with.
And it's so crazy because a lot of y'all.
STEM is not the answer. See, you guys want to keep acting like STEM is different. Bullshit. STEM is not the answer. I already said it. Remember what I said earlier? Oh, yeah, see, it's different in science and technology. I was in engineering. Managers look the same. Upper managers look the same. See, you got folks coming in talking about stupid stuff like assimilation and stuff like that, like you the Borg or some stuff. So ask somebody like Deep Lockett. All right, Deep Lockett, do you have an executive position you can put a black man in? For the people who want to say that I don't know that this is not right, we live in a world of cultures. This ain't about worlds. This ain't about worlds. This is about companies and brands. So if I tell you get on the panel, you get on the panel.
There we go. Is he about to bring somebody in?
Get on the panel. I don't want to hear you talk. I want you to get on the panel. You don't have to show yourself, but man up. I'm not surprised when he said, I'm surprised by the pushback in the chat. I'm not. A lot of young black men are emotional, raised by their mothers. Raised by their mothers and emotional. And guess what? If you don't think that people see how young black men conduct themselves and say, why would I put an emotional, volatile, prideful, egotistical man in a position of power in my organization. I'm not going to risk my business and my reputation on this guy.
Man, that's tough, bro. That's tough, man. We gonna stop it right there, man. We gonna stop that thing right there. And I want you guys to really grasp what it is that he was saying. Hold on, let me switch it over here. There we go. Yeah, I want you guys to really grasp what it is that he was saying. All right. Why in the world would I give a guy that operates like that type of power? Because when you start to move up, the more power you gain, the more exposure. All right. So when you were back there, just basically working on a fryer or whatever, nobody could see you. Don't have to worry about that. He's good. But when you start to become the manager, the executive, and all those other things, they're going to be looking at it like this. Who the hell gave this guy all this doggone power? Right? And it's like either it's going to be a good thing or it's going to be a bad thing. They're either going to be asking, like, who the hell gave this guy all this power? Or they're going to be like, yo, hey, this is actually a perfect fit. Like, where the heck did you get this guy? Like, man, we need to look out for you, man. Give you a nice little bonus because you found that doggone diamond in the rough. These are the type of men that we want to represent our company. This is a representation of all of our core values and everything like that. But I wanted to go ahead and give you guys a little scenario real quick, right? So say for instance, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with a guy that well, actually it is, that works the same job throughout his entire life, right? From age 18, or let's just say you move up a little bit, from age 18 or 21 all the way up to like age 50. Working the same, getting little pay raises here and there. You're at about $40,000 to $50,000 or whatever. During this time, you've gotten a lot of knowledge, not just about your job, but other jobs as well. I'm pretty sure if you're working at that company, they're going to have you doing things that you don't normally do. And I believe most people that have been at a certain company for about 5 to 10 years, it's like they know how to do everybody's job. Like, since I've been here or whatever, I've been, talking to Tanya, and Tanya, she kind of gave me a little rundown for what it is that she do. They have me filling in, saying these spots when certain people aren't here. So I know exactly what it is. So during this time, you've gotten all of this knowledge and all this experience, and you're still getting paid pennies, nickels, and dimes, right? Now, you can continue to do that, or you can go ahead and look to move up. And say, for instance, you can take that information and let that supervisor, manager, or whatever know, hey, I'm looking to move up. Right now, I'm making $40,000 per year, but this, with the experience and everything that I have, I could be making 45, or I could be making 50,000. I got the knowledge, I got the know-how and everything. I'm already working a certain amount of hours. This is only going to require me to change things up, just a little bit. But it'll be a nicer pay, right? Again, you can continue to run it to work that same job or whatever you're doing and making that $40,000, or you can go see somebody about making that $45,000 or that $50,000. And if you continue to do that ever so often, whether it's every year and a half, every 6 months, every 3 months, or whatever, imagine how much money you can have and how easier your life would be because you now have the resources. You now have the money. I mean, you've already had the experience and everything else that goes along with that. So why aren't you having these people that's already having you work all these doggone hours anyway? Why would you not go ahead and ask and get more money and get that title? Because that's going to look better, of course, now when it comes to money and also in the long run. So now you actually have this up under your belt, up under your resume. So if you do have to, jump ship or whatever, you're going to be good. So again, you go from making $40,000 per year with the knowledge and everything that you have or whatever to making $50,000 per year. Just think about how easy it would be to pay. I don't know how much you guys pay for rent, so let's just say that's $1,600. Now my paychecks are, you know what I'm saying, a little bit more, a lot more. So that money is like almost like chump change now. And I'm working the same exact hours with a better job title. And I mean it just makes more sense, man. But it all goes back to of course what I always try to stress about, which is a sense of awareness. A sense of awareness. Awareness is key when you're trying to move up, and understand that people are going to buy into you first, your image. Okay, this person is asking for more money, a better title. I'm not just going to look at, their work ethic and everything else. I need to know, who the heck am I talking to right now? All right? Is this a person that really seems that, what I'm saying, they are about their business? This seems like a person that I can trust with this doggone promotion or whatever. Because again, that's going to be more eyeballs are going to be on you. When you go from being in the back of the house to the front of the house, when you go from, maybe not talking to customers to actually dealing with customers and interacting with them on a day-to-day basis. Can I honestly trust this person? Is this person going to be that type of person that shows up walking on the back of their house shoes? Is this person going to be the type of person that shows up that, again, he was talking about cutting the locks. You're not taking care of yourself. You're not groomed when you come in. No, I think I'd much rather keep this type of person in the back because I don't want them to be at the forefront. Because they don't show the values and everything that we're trying to put out there. But if we're trying to put out a certain type of image, which is, we want you to take care of yourself and all the other stuff. If that employee is not embodying that thing, why the heck would I give them a promotion? Why would I put them at the forefront of everything? And tell people, this is a representation of this company. And most guys, understand this, most guys may have to cut their hair. They may have to cut their locks. All right? But I'm one of those type of people. Again, I haven't listened to the whole entire stream. We're going to try to do part 2 of this maybe tomorrow. We'll try to finish this thing off tomorrow. But I'm not one of those type of people that automatically will say, listen, I'm not doing that. I am always open. I just have an open mindset when it comes to certain things. And this is one of those things because I don't believe that my hair makes me who I am. All right? I believe, because there was a time when I didn't have long hair. I actually rocked a shortcut or whatever. So I'm not completely against, like, cutting my hair. And I understand why some people do. If you want to move up in that corporate ladder or whatever, and you want to gain more visibility, you want to get more money, more power, more resources, you want to actually move up in the company, then oftentimes it's going to require for you to buy in. And when it comes to buying in, some of y'all are going to have to change the way that you are moving. All right? Change that doggone outfit, the way that you dress, the way that you present yourself. All of those things are going to play a part in moving up. So when it comes to appearance, you may have to cut your hair. You may have to rock that short cut for a short amount of time. Take those earrings out. All right? Go ahead and put that nice little suit on, that nice tailored suit on. Take off them big goofy shoes and put on some nice, some nice looking dress shoes. Some of these things are going to be required if you want to level up. But the question is, do you want to continue to stay the same? You want to stay in the back? You want to continue making that $40,000 per year? Or what if cutting your doggone hair and just changing the way that you move can help you make that extra $50,000 or that extra $60,000? You could be making over $100,000 per year just from changing up just a little bit. Cutting out that doggone, that mess, all right? Actually doing something with yourself. That's why he said that, a lot of people don't have consultants, all right? A lot of people don't understand the importance of a consultant, all right? A consultant can come to you, a professional, all right, can come to you and say, hey, your life can be so much better if you just change or tweak just a few things about yourself. And to those people that are open and willing to change, I believe that a consultant or image consultant is for those type of people that's open to that, that's going to, of course, listen and apply whatever information that they're given to help them upgrade. And to those people that are closed minded, those are the people that honestly don't need people like that, of course, because they already feel like they're the bomb.com and they're okay with making, less than what they're supposed to be making. They're okay with living that mediocre lifestyle. And that's not, to me, that's not okay, man. I believe that a lot of men that I know and a lot of men that I don't know have a lot of untapped potential. And the reason why that they are not tapping into that is because of this thing up here. Everything starts with your mindset. And a lot of those guys are closed off. They don't want to hear anything. They have all the answers. I need for those guys, man, to step back and try to apply this doggone information, man. Take all this information that we are getting from all of these videos that we are watching, man. When it comes to Kevin Samuels, when it comes to Jeff the Style OG, we're gonna be digging into a lot of other people, man. The Alpha Male Strategy. I'm gonna be posting some of his videos as well, man. He's an image consultant, and he was actually one of the main reasons why Kev kind of pursued the image consultant thing or whatever. Just from listening to some of his videos. And how it is that some men should be moving and some men need to be operating when it comes to being able to level up. And before I get out of here, guys, listen, this is what we're doing now, man. This is honestly what we're doing. I'm going to actually make a video, and I want you guys to dedicate one day out of the week, just one major day out of the week where you focus solely on grooming yourself. All right, solely on grooming. Again, I'm going to make a whole entire video on the things that I am doing, some of the things I have been doing, and some of the things I'm going to be incorporating on a like a day-to-day basis. All right, when it comes to grooming, keeping those doggone nails clipped, fingernails, toenails, guys, come on, man, we got to take care of those things. You do not want to take off your doggone socks in front of a young lady and them things looking like who, what, when, and why. All right, taking care, and you don't want long nails. I hope not. You do not want long nails as a guy, as a masculine male. You should not be wanting to walk around with long nails because those things are subject to get dirt in them, man. And listen, I try to remain clean at all doggone times, man, and I cannot stand dirty nails on anybody. It is the most, anyway. So making sure that those nails are good, making sure that you are maintaining your hair. So if you do have longer hair than normal, making sure that thing is retwisted at least, I ain't gonna say at least once a week. I know some people do like every 2 weeks, but you got to make sure that thing looks presentable. Like you can go around anybody and not be ashamed. All right, so like right now we're approaching like 2 weeks, and you guys see I got a little frizz or whatnot, man. This is actually week number 2, so I'll be getting my hair retwisted this week. But yeah, making sure that you're taking care of your hair. Tape line, all right, making sure you got that doggone that fresh cut. This is I still believe this is like week 2, but we normally go about a month, roughly about a month when it comes to because my tape line, man, it's pretty much always nice and neat and decent. I ain't gonna say it's perfect, but yeah. But straight for at least about roughly around about a month. But we're gonna make sure that hair and everything is always on point. Skin is something that's honestly new to me. I honestly don't spend as much time as I should be spending when it comes to grooming, and taking care, the skin and whatnot, man. So we're gonna be doing a better job at that moving forward. When it comes to grooming, facial hair, that's one of the things that I honestly try to always keep up with. So every 3 to 4 days, man, we are always. I don't shave. I actually use some clippers or whatever because I don't want to be bothered with any of those razor bumps, man. I'm afraid of those things. I've seen some really, really bad situations. Anyway, so when it comes to facial hair, normally I keep this thing neatly lined up or whatnot, man. Try to. Of course, making sure you're always showering is another important thing. But when it comes to showering, using the right type of soap. All right, so we're gonna be getting some more soap in these next few days. All right, because I want to put that video out as soon as possible. So of course, shampooing, conditioner, those things like that, man. Taking care of our body, taking care of our hands, our feet, and just the body in general. I'm gonna do a whole live video behind that, guys. And of course, putting the right stuff on our skin after we get out the shower. After you get out the shower, putting that, that lotion, shea butter, whatever y'all do. I know I'm gonna have my own little thing that I use or whatever. And then last but not least, that fragrance. All right, that smell good, that cologne. Because when you get out the shower, that's when you're supposed to apply cologne. If you didn't know, that's when your pores are open, and that's when you're supposed to go ahead and spray the smell good, man. It tends to last a lot longer right after the shower. All right. Hold on, let me go ahead and get this off. Yeah. That's when it tends to last, and then you throw on a nice little fit, and then you just go on about your day. The fit is gonna pretty much, what I'm saying, depend on the day to day, whether it's hot, whether you're going somewhere, whatever. But when it comes to the grooming aspect, that's gonna be pretty much basic the same. So I'm going to again be making that video a little bit later on, guys, and we will be doing part two of this video tomorrow. Shout out to Kevin Samuels, man, and I was thinking that we was gonna see O'Shea. And I don't know who Steve the Dean is. I know who O'Shea Duke Jackson is, but I'm not sure who Steve the Dean is. But yeah, man. Again, titled "Black Men Need to Cut Their Hair to." Black men need to cut their hair or stay at the bottom. All right, black men need to cut their hair or stay at the bottom. Part two tomorrow, guys. Again, man, thanks so much for everybody that tuned in, man. We got a lot of likes on this video, and I hope it translates or it goes on over after this video is live. For some reason, man, YouTube always be tripping. But we got 25 likes on this video right now, so I'm hoping that that goes over. And guys, continue, man. Drop comments down below. Share this video because we want to get this type of content out to as many people and as many men as possible, man, to make sure that y'all are taking care of yourselves, y'all grooming yourselves in order to get the best results when it comes to life. All right. Anyway, man, y'all be blessed, y'all be beautiful, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.